another tropes video, and we are going to talk about another one that I really like, and that is enemies to lovers, or my preferred like milder version cousin of it, bickering couple. Pride and Prejudice is like the grandmother of this, or like the mother of this type of trope, and is just like the most classic example of it done well. It's also really common in TV shows and movies. Like, it's your really stereotypical rom-com story. I feel like one of my favorites, You've Got Mail, is a perfect example of this, where you have, to me, what it is and should be is like witty banter and bickering, and it can be honest disagreements, but never getting super personal or super aggressive. And for me, physicality is not okay with this kind of stuff. That's when it goes into a poorly done story. And I think one of the reasons it's really common in film and television and in books is because it's a really easy way to add tension to a story. However, it's also really easy to rely on that as your main source of conflict or tension or anything like that. So as like a writer, that's something you have to be aware of. Also, in my opinion, why a lot of TV shows fail when couples get together, because a lot of times those couples that you're like, oh, I need them to get together forever and ever, have that bickering relationship, and writers are too afraid to explore what a relationship looks like once that's resolved, or to still show that in a resolved, like they're now dating or married or whatever couple. TV shows are for another conversation. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of like the bantering, witty, sarcastic comments that clearly are coming from a source of underlying sexual tension, and it's just like a form of flirting. Some of my favorites with this trope, one that I think of all the time and actually recently reread, is The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn, and this is the second Bridgerton book. I think this is a really good example of like witty conversations. And then another one that I'm a big fan of is Married by Morning by Lisa Kleypas, which is the fourth book in the Hathaway series, and their bickering runs through books 2 and 3 and then in here. So, and I think this is probably one of the best versions of it. And then it has been a long time since I read it, but one that I remember having this and then doing a really good job with like character development is A Wallbanger by Alice Clayton. These characters kind of like argue and don't get along and stuff. It probably doesn't help that their first meeting is her like yelling at him for having loud sex next to her, but you know. But I think this is a good like version of it. And then probably the most vicious that I'm okay with reading is what I would call the Cabalaway books in Krista and Becca Ritchie's Addicted/Calloway Sisters series. And so it is the Rose and Connor books, so Kiss the Sky and Fuel the Fire, although their relationship shows up throughout the whole series and they are bickering the whole time. Theirs can be a little harsh. For me, it's definitely at like that end of the spectrum, but I think for these characters it makes sense, and Krista and Becca Ritchie do a pretty good job with it. And I do know that Christina Lauren, I believe, is really well known for these. Like Beautiful Bastard, I think, is supposed to be like a really big form of this, and I think that I've heard it, what is her name? I can't remember her name, but she's a reviewer, and I think she's an author now under a pen name too, but she used to do the DBSA podcast. She's from Dear Author. She's the one that does Dear Author. And she calls them fight and F books, and that to me is like an extreme version of it where it's just like, and that doesn't 100% work for me. Now, I have never read Beautiful Bastard, mostly for that reason. If you think I should read it, let me know. I've only read one Christina Lauren book, which I did enjoy, but it was not that style at all. It did not have this trope, but I know that that's like something they do, or I've heard them do. And then I will leave a few links down in the description below, which have some GoodReads lists in case you're looking, and I also found one on Smart Bitches Trashy Books, which I really like. I like their website and their podcast. They have a list of enemies to lovers stories. So if you like or dislike this trope, please let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on it, and if you have any book recommendations for it, let me know that as well, and for other people too. Like, I know Wallbanger is not everybody's favorite story, so I know that's not like the best contemporary recommendation. So if you have any good contemporary recs, let me know. Oh, Julie James does it really well, I feel like, by the way. I totally forgot about her. She does really good bickering, I think. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, and I will see you later. Bye.